Back at Jim Grundy's personal car collection on the Mother's Polished Car Show series. Well, I'm setting in a very unusual car. Ladies and gentlemen, this is actually a race car that ran in the thing they call the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 500. Tell me about this car, Jim.
Ted, this is a 1912 Indy car built by the National Automobile Company that was based in Indianapolis. It was one of a 5-car team. One of its sister teammates won the 500 in 1912. That's the only other national race car that exists. It's on display at the Speedway Museum. This car tragically crashed and killed its driver on about the 70th lap at Indy. The car carries 20 gallons of oil, which was just enough to finish the race. It has no rings on the pistons. They ran on castor oil, and they left a cloud behind them that left the next driver in a fog.
How big is the engine?
The engine's about 500 cubic inches.
Oh, no way, get out of here.
Just like the ones we looked at before, it's what's called a T-head configuration, but this one's twice the horsepower, and this car will exceed 100 miles an hour. We used to run this car on the road, but frankly, Ted, it's too fast, and it doesn't stop.
No, and you've got that mess to deal with. What is this right here?
Well, that's our windshield, Ted, and on the outside we have a mesh screen, which keeps the rocks and the boards, because in the early races they had the board tracks I'm sure you've heard about.
Yes.
Well, the boards flew apart. That's to keep the boards from cracking the glass, which protects the driver from the driver in front's oil fog.
That's absolutely incredible. But you have a problem. This is a race car. Can you insure it?
We do insure vintage race cars, as long as they're not in any competition. We insure muscle cars. We have a large street ride membership, with Grundy, antiques, and exotics.
Okay, so is there any age limit? I mean, we're seeing cars that were from the early 1900s, but what about, let's say I just went out and built a brand new street rod this year. I mean, it is a new car, but would it be considered a collector's car that you could put on a policy?
Most definitely.
Okay.
There's no age limit on our policy as long as the vehicle has some type of significant value as a collector.
So if there's any question that you have at all of whether or not Grundy could insure your car on a collector car policy, all you have to do is just pick up the phone and give them a call.
Heads up. With all eyes on performance and appearance, we turn now to the experts at Hedman Headers for more information on how to improve our rides with products from Hedman, Transdap, and Hamburgers.
Hamburgers Performance Parts, the subject today. And Vic, you guys really come out with some pretty trick stuff. Let's talk about oil and oil filtration.
Well, of course, the history of hamburgers is in oil systems, and we have a lot of races here at this company, and we have hot rodders, and we play with things. This is our latest line of remote oil filtration, where you want to get the oil filter off the engine into a place where you don't have to get oil all over you when you change it. You don't have to lie under the vehicle. You don't have to jack it up. And it's good to get the oil filtration away from the engine block to keep it a little bit of cooling as well. Over here on this side we have the Ford version, which is a screw-on adapter. Just simply screw it on like so. Has a rubber seal on the back side here. Just turn it in. That's it. Take your size 12 lines, dash 12 lines, up to the remote locator, which we'll have a look at in a moment. And of course for the Chevrolet, we have the side mount that gets the oil lines away from the headers, which come back over here. So you want to get the lines away from the heat. It's a simple adapter. It bolts right on. Put the gasket on. A lot of guys forget to do this. And to pop the gasket on here and just pop it in. Do up the screws. You're good to go. Put in the lines. This is our new P-stock. This is a remote locator where you can hook up the filter. Mounts to the dash. Very simple. Your dash 12 lines down to the remote attachment here. You're good to go.
Need more information? HamburgersPerformance.com. And remember, you're not running hamburgers, well, you're just dead meat.